looking at the Hardwood Teepee in Syracuse, where tonight Kosciuszko County's premier rivalry heats up once again. The Warsaw Tigers visit the Wawasee Warriors in the Northern Lakes Conference opener on the 46th game of the week. And how you doing, everybody? Next to the Hall of Famer Bob Nagel, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us. The Warsaw Tigers come in with a record of 3-3 on the year. They have a new coach in Matt Moore, just the third time in the last 40 years Warsaw has had that, and the transition has been uncomfortable for both coach and players so far.
And sometimes it has to be, because Matt Moore comes in knowing what he wants to do. He's a 7-year veteran as a head coach. And some of the things that he wants to do aren't maybe what was going on in the past, and so you either have to adjust or, maybe not play. So they've got some different people in the lineup tonight, but we're looking forward to seeing Judah Mfukwe and Jackson Dawson, and Brath is the 6'11" player. I mean, they've got some size, and they've got some veterans who are able to play tonight.
Meanwhile, Wawasee is 2-0. That's the good news. The bad news is they've sat for the last 2 weeks because of COVID. They did practice all week this week to get ready for this game, but they are still without two of their top players in Keaton Dukes and Cameron Salazar.
But, Chuck, they're well rested. The thing is, they've only had a couple of days to work this week, and trying to, you'll find during the course of the game, that's a concern if they're in game shape. But the thing about this team is they're very young, and they've got a great future, not only this year, but down the road. So I think this is a chance for some of those guys that sat on the bench and said, Coach, I should be playing more, or I maybe should be ahead of that guy. Guess what? Tonight, you not only get to play, you have to play. It's a big Northern Lakes Conference clash.
Great to have Bo Hunt back on the sidelines with us again tonight. And Bo, you never had to come back from COVID, but you did have to come back from injuries. You had to come from football to basketball. How long do you think it will take players to get their sea legs back?
Well, I think that's one of the biggest things we need to look at tonight, especially on the Wawasee side, is, the last 2 weeks they've been out with, not being able to play games. And so they don't have their game legs back. And it takes a while, usually about a week or two, at least to get those game situations, because just your practice, everyday practice, the intensity level just isn't quite there, because you got to look at the mental aspect that you're dealing with throughout the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how much subbing that's going to be done on the Wawasee side to counteract those game legs, guys.
It's the 75th meeting between these two old rivals. Warsaw visiting Wawasee. Got a lot to talk about on the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win. That comes your way next on the 46th game of the week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by TCU, Aegis Dental Group, Bills Heating, Tipping Point Basketball, Jordan Automotive Group, Electrical Workers 153, Ancilla College, Wolverine Mutual Insurance, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, St. Andrews Products, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back to the Hardwood Teepee as we get you ready for Warsaw and Wawasee for the 75th renewal. And it's time now to look at our keys to win, brought to you by the aforementioned Jordan Auto Group. We'll start with the visiting Warsaw Tigers, who have an exciting young guard to watch by the name of Judah Mfukwe. The 6-foot junior is the leading scorer on the Tigers, averaging almost 12 points a game to go with 3 rebounds. He is coming off a career-high 19 points against Crown Point last Saturday night, but he'll get some help down low from big Jackson Dawson. The 6'6 junior averages a little over 5 points a game to go with 5 rebounds a game. Had a career-high 12 last year against Concord. Opened the season with 11 against Shortridge, but he can get up and get it. He's got a 37-inch vertical leap. The keys to win for Matt Moore and the Tigers.
First thing is they've got to guard their man, and it's what they're going to do from now on under Matt Moore. So they got to get used to getting in their face. They've got to excel in transition, and of course defense can create offensive opportunities, and they got to box out. They got to value an offensive rebound. Matt Moore, 7th season as a head coach, first at Warsaw, and he talks to us about the strength of his Warsaw team.
I think that we have some depth. I think we play a lot of guys, and I think a lot of those guys add value. Different games are going to ask for different things, and so tonight's look may be a little different than what maybe last week was. and guys have to step into that role and really execute tonight.
Well, that's true for Wawasee as well, because they are without two of their top scorers on the year, but they do get quite a bit of scoring from Jack Stover, a 6'2 junior, 8 points and 8 rebounds a game. Good free throw shooter, has gone into the weight room and improved his strength, and he has been very consistent for the Warriors this year. In the backcourt, they've got a fine player in 5'7 senior Ethan Carey, shooting guard who can light it up from three-point range. He's also one of the top defenders on the team as he leads the team with 7 steals. He's scoring about 7 points a game. The keys to win for John Everingham and the Wawasee Warriors.
First off, they've got to be physical, Chuck, and it could be a big factor in the game tonight. And they've got to work for a good shot. And to tell you what, good shots lead to good percentages, and they need to do that. And they've got to make Warsaw shoot from the outside. They got to deny the post, and they got to help on the inside defense and really be cooperating inside. John Everingham, the head coach in his 13th season here at Wawasee, is just excited about being able to play basketball.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're excited. We're excited you guys are here. We're excited the Tigers are in town, and we wish the circumstances were a little bit different, but they're not. Been really proud of our team with how we've responded to the quarantine and missing a couple guys, and I tell you what, we're fired up to play.
Ordinarily, this joint would be jumping for this one. It's a spread out crowd tonight, but the Wawasee Warriors and Warsaw Tigers will certainly have intensity. Those have been our Jordan Automotive keys to win. The starting lineups and tip-off are next from the Hardwood Teepee after this on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Tipping Point Basketball, Michiana's #1 training academy. Starting lineups are being announced. Here's Bob Nagel.
And for the Warsaw Tigers, it'll be Judah Simfukwe. He'll be at a guard. He wears #1. He's a 6-foot junior. Ben Bergen is also a guard. He's a 6-foot senior, wears #10. Number 15 is Caleb Sands, a 6'2 senior forward. Jackson Dawson is a 6'6 junior. He'll play at a forward. In the center is Graydon Brath. Graydon Brath, a 6'11 senior, wears #25. And for the Wawasee Warriors, it'll be Grant Brooks starting at a forward. He's a 6'4 junior. He wears #12. Number 14 is Caden Welty. He's a 5'11 junior. He'll start at a guard. Ethan Carey will also play at a guard. He's #20. He's a 5'7 senior. Jack Stover, 6'2 and a junior, will play a forward, as well as Adam Beer. Adam wears #40, and he is a 6'1 senior. Those are the starting lineups. Now for a check on the uniforms for tonight's game, brought to you by St. Andrews Products. First for the visitors, the Warsaw Tigers will be wearing black jerseys with white and orange trim, white lettering. They have black shorts with a stripe down the side and the orange stars on that stripe. And for the Wawasee Warriors, they'll be wearing white jerseys with green and gold trim and white shorts with the green stripe down the side. And the teams look great in tonight's game, and St. Andrews Products can do the same for your team. Reach them at sales@standrewscorp.com.
The 75th meeting between Warsaw and Wawasee. You saw the series history. The tip controlled by the Warsaw Tigers. We're 3-3 on the year. The best win came against Columbia City. They beat them 50-45. The 3 teams who beat them are a combined 11-1. So they've played a challenging schedule. Jackson Dawson inside misses the layup, but it's out of bounds off Wawasee, and Warsaw will retain possession. Grant Brooks, who elevated high for that ball but couldn't corral it, and Caleb Sands will trigger the inbound for the Tigers. Ben Bergen on the outside, running things from the guard position. Graydon Brath is the big 6'11 fella. Bergen looking for Dawson on the high post. Sands trying to come around down the lane.
It's a nice option inside, 6'7 or 6'11.
Dawson trying to square up on his man. He's guarded by Jack Stover. Warsaw executing patience on this opening possession. Rath to Simfukwe. That's his first touch in this possession. Sands now spins and kicks it outside to Bergen for 3. Offline, Brath an offensive rebound for 2. So Graydon Brath, the big 6'11 senior, who's only averaging a point a game, his only other basket this season came against Huntington North, gets the Tigers on the board. Now, look at this defense being put up here by Warsaw. And it's Brooks. He threw it inside to Stover. Now Carey for 3, ring it up. Ethan Carey's third three-pointer of the year gives Wawasee a 3-2 lead.
And nice look. Well executed. The skip pass working pretty good against that size for Warsaw.
Man-to-man defense here by the Warriors. Simfukwe guarded by Beer. Brath inside for Bergen. He was hacked in the act by Carey, and he'll go to the line for free throws.
First foul on Ethan Carey, first on the Warriors. Under head coach John Everingham, who applied his trade back in the day at Goshen High School and Grace College.
Get another look at the hack by Ethan Carey there against Ben Bergen, who will go to the line. He's a 67% free throw shooter on the year. Bergen, part of the Kosciuszko County Youth Leadership Academy, misses the first. Ben, a 6-foot senior, averaging 4 and 3, 4 points, 3 rebounds. There's John Everingham. His 5th year here at Wawasee after coaching stints at Argus and DeKalb. Bergen, 1 of 2, were tied at 3. Wawasee 2-0 on the year. They beat Angola and Prairie Heights, both by double digits. Last year, Everingham's team was 14 and 10. Very good mark considering the 3 previous seasons. They had won 6 games in each of those years. Skip pass to Brooks. He finds the open Caden Welty, but he couldn't hit the shot. And an offensive rebound for Wawasee. 1-3-1 zone being used by the Tigers. Carey and Brooks content to play catch on the outside.
You get those big guys moving inside, side to side, and could have an effect later on in the game.
Now some size trying to trap Carey. Brooks a nice pass. They whip it around, and Brooks finds Carey for an open 3. That's way off the mark. Welty got trapped underneath the backboard. And then we've got a whistle and a held ball, which will go to Wawasee.
That was not a missed shot by Carey. That was a pass,
You're being kind. Warsaw will go to its bench, and Jackson Gould and Russ Winchester will check in, both a pair of sophomores. Long inbounds pass trigger to Adam Beer. You'll meet him at halftime, one of our TCU Net Student Athletes of the Week. A slow pace in the early going here at the teepee.
We saw a lot of turnovers in that JV game. Warsaw won that, but both teams were acting like there was a shot clock, Chuck. They threw up a lot of shots early.
And another held ball. This one will go to Warsaw as Bergen got right into the grill of Ethan Carey and gets the turnover.
Quick hands there.
Matt Moore told us at practice this week that Bergen has been his best defender so far. And if we came away with one message from the Warsaw practice we attended, if you play defense and can rebound, you're going to get a lot of playing time from Matt Moore. Jackson Dawson measures the 3, short. Followed his shot and saved it to Wawasee. Warsaw has really struggled from three-point range this season. And we've seen that in the early going. They're 0 for 2 beyond the arc so far. Midway through the first.
Does make it a little easier to keep stats.
Adam Beer down the baseline. Brooks couldn't handle the pass. The bodies hit the floor. And Wawasee came away with it, and Jack Stover able to draw a foul. You'll get another look courtesy of Aegis Dental Group. We're going to call the foul here on Jackson Dawson. But it came right there as he hooked the arm. First foul on the Tigers.
Yeah, Dawson's first. Got to be careful with him.
Caden Welty on the outside, getting the start tonight in place of Cameron Salazar. Carey with a attempt to get past Bergen, but he couldn't. And then Brooks didn't realize that pass was for him, and Jackson Gould will scoop it up for two. Miscommunication by the Warriors cost them there, and Warsaw offering full court pressure after the basket, as we thought they might with the point guard Salazar out. Carey double dribble. Excuse me, that's Welty with the double dribble that time.
3 turnovers on Wawasee, 1 for Warsaw so far. Folks, the Lather and Fade Shop has locations in South Bend, Granger, and Elkhart. Lather and Fade offers world-class barber experiences, whether you want a vintage, classic, or modern look. Lather and Fade gift cards are a great idea for Christmas. Check out latherandfadeshop.com.
Senior Brock Poe seeing his first action of the year. Gould with the three. Jackson Gould hit the game winner in overtime against Lake Central last Friday and continues the hot shooting here, giving the Tigers the 8-3 lead. Some bumping in the corners there, and they've got a choice of players to give the foul to. But here's another look at the three from Gould, Bob.
Nice release and took his time, squared up. Very good, fundamentally sound attempt there. It went in. He's 2 for 2 while he's come off the bench.
He's got 8 threes now on the year. That leads the Tigers. The foul was called on Bergen. It's his first. Wawasee trying to solve the Tiger defense, but the pass was deflected out of bounds by Warsaw, and Wawasee retains possession.
They did a beautiful job here. New floor was put in a couple years ago. They got new bleachers. Done a wonderful job here, Wawasee High School. A real commitment to the young people, and they've got the word hardwood teepee up on both sides, so you'll know where you're playing.
Wawasee will pull out Adam Beer and put in Colin Roberson. Roberson, a 6'5" sophomore, member of the football team here at Wawasee. And a steal by Gould. He's looking for point number 7, couldn't hit the layup, and the rebound by Roberson. Good hustle back by the young fella. Then a long lead pass for Jack Stover, and he's fouled on the way up by Winchester. Stover will go to the line for 2.
Winchester's first foul, 6'5" sophomore.
Foul on Winchester.
So Jack Stover, an 80% free throw shooter, goes to the line for the Warriors and rattles home the first.
6'2" junior. Chuck, he's one of the guys we were watching in practice the other day, and gives you an idea that their future is really bright for the Wawasee Warriors. We've got a lot of good young players in this program.
Stover made a difference in the game against Warsaw last year with 11 points. 1 of 2 in that trip to the stripe. It's the Tigers by 4. Open in the corner, Caleb Sands buries the 3. So Sands with a rare 3-pointer. And all of a sudden the Tigers have their biggest lead at 7. Stover looking for help, finds Welty. Now Carey on the outside. Oh, down low, Roberson was able to get position on Winchester and puts it in. So the 6'5" sophomore Colin Roberson with his first basket of the season brings Wawasee within 5. 11-6 Warsaw, 1:31 to go in the first on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Aegis Dental Group, their trusted dentistry. Well, these two coaches, Matt Moore and John Everingham, very familiar with each other. This is from the 2003 Grace College basketball team. That's Everingham on the left in the black shirt. Jim Kessler is in the front in the black shirt. And Matt Moore in the black shirt on the right. They were both grad assistants on that team, but this is the first time that they have coached against one another.
And what a mentor to be with. Jim Kessler did a wonderful, wonderful job at Grace College for so many years. And Well, it was great to see him attend so many high school games over the years, looking for talent, but also being just a real figure in northern Indiana.
John Everingham, 5th year here at Wawasee, 13th year overall as a coach, really tries to instill values in his program. And one of the values that he's tried to instill this week is perseverance, because obviously when you have 2 of your leading scorers out of the lineup, you have no choice but to persevere. Warsaw goes into the corner, now back outside. Good ball movement in this possession by the Tigers. Bishop Walters into the game now for Warsaw. He's got the ball there. Jackson Gould leading Warsaw with 5. Was open down in the corner briefly, but they go inside to Winchester for 2. So the big fellow Russ Winchester, the defensive end for Bart Curtis's football team, averaging 3 points a game, gets his first bucket.
Good ball movement again, Chuck, and he found the open man a little bit closer to the basket. That gives him, again, that better percentage on the close-in shot.
Roberson down low, missed the layup. Here comes Warsaw the other way, already up 7. Brock Poe seeing his first action of the year. So some new faces out there for Warsaw, and it looks like Matt Moore's team might hold for 1.
I'll tell you what, the rebounding has been about the same. 5 for Warsaw, 4 for Wawasee, but haven't been many misses, Chuck, because they haven't taken many shots.
And they are content to Bobby Plump this end of the first quarter.
Could run the Garden Gate. Swinging gate, I guess they call it.
Caleb Sands has it knocked away and out of bounds. Tom Hines, the official, looking for some help, and it's going to be Warsaw basketball.
With just enough time on the clock, 5.4 seconds to get a quality shot here.
John Everingham going to put Adam Beer back into the game here for defensive purposes.
Some of those inbound plays you work on in practice. Situational basketball.
Beer takes the place of Ethan Carey, trying to make sure Carey doesn't pick up a second foul here at the end of the quarter. Jackson Gould off the inbound for 3. The iron unkind. Beer with the rebound in the first quarter comes to an end. But it was the first quarter that saw Warsaw able to bury a couple of 3-pointers. Jackson Gould had one of them. Caleb Sands had the other. And the Tigers lead it by 7 after 1 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. They also sponsor our Sideline Report. Bo Hunt, your thoughts on that first quarter?
Well, a couple things that we wanted to look at was Warsaw and their three-point shooting under 25% for the season. 2 big threes that they came up with there in that first period. The other thing was with Wawasee, with having not a lot of games in the last few weeks or none in the last 2 weeks. How was the rotation, especially with guys coming down with COVID? How is that rotation going to be? Only 1 sub in that first period, and not until the 2:30 mark. So going with those starters, guys.
Numbers are kind of limited for Wawasee in terms of the bodies that they can put out there.
Numbers a little limited too. They were 3 out of 6 in the first quarter. They did hit 2 3-pointers. They were 1 out of 2 from the free throw line.
Second quarter being brought to us by our friends at Wolverine Mutual Insurance. And you see what Bo was talking about, the 23% for Warsaw. Meanwhile, Wawasee, they've been snipers beyond the arc, 41%. But remember, 2 of their better scorers out of the lineup tonight.
Warsaw 5 out of 10 in that first quarter from the field. They were 2 out of 5 from three-point range, made 1 out of 2 from the line.
Stover was able to get Jackson Gould on his hip, and the other thing that Matt Moore is not going to like about that defensive possession is Wawasee was able to come right down the middle of the lane. They talked about this a lot on Tuesday. The middle drives that have been really hurting Warsaw on possession. So it's Stover back to the line where he's now 2 out of 3 after he hits that one. Jack Stover, a state winner in the Future Farmers of America Horticulture Contest. last year, is 3 out of 4. And it's a 13-8 ball game. You've spent a lot of time in horticulture, haven't you?
Let me look it up, see what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Horticulture that I've been involved with has been on a golf course.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Here's Brock Poe with the 3, and all of a sudden Warsaw has found the shooting range tonight. Their third three-pointer of the game makes it a 16-8 Tiger lead. Roberson underneath. He gets hacked by Jackson Dawson. That's the second on the big fella.
That's a big foul in this game tonight. Jackson Dawson, terrific athlete.
Wawasee is hurting Warsaw right now in transition. And that was one of the keys that Matt Moore wanted his team to focus on tonight. So here's Roberson taking his first free throws of the year. And the 6'5 sophomore makes it look like he's there all the time. He's been putting up good numbers on the JV for Wawasee this year.
Well, he's got 3 points tonight. Chance to make it 4.
Bounces that one away, but a good rebound by Stover. And Wawasee can make this a very valuable possession here. Stover outside the arc. That's not really his game. Low pass to Welty.
Trying to work a little two-man game over there on the left side. Looking for a cutter.
Bishop Walters bodying up Welty nicely. And Welty lost the handle, but that's because of a foul. And it will be called on Bishop Walters.
It's his first personal.
That is the 6th on Warsaw. Grant Brooks will check back in. Colin Roberson gave them some valuable minutes off the bench.
He certainly did. Coach, for over 60 years, industry has relied on the great team at Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT is the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. The medical, automotive, and business and defense and aerospace challenges have built our legacy. Reach us at iftworldwide.com. At IFT, we'll work till you're finished correctly.
Welty guarded by Judison Fuqua. Adam Beer collects, and a nice dish that's erased by Jackson Gould. Return to center, that address unknown. Wow. You'll get another look from Aegis Dental Group.
If our guys put a mark on that, that could be one of those electrifying plays.
Here's Welty for 3, the iron unkind, the tip missed by Beer, and Warsaw has numbers coming the other way. A foul called on Caden Welty, his first. Probably a smart foul that time for Wawasee because it allows them to reset their defense. Otherwise, Warsaw had the transition game moving.
And it's just their second here in the first half. 6 plus to go. Check a couple times when there's been a breakdown defense. It's been more communication than anything. And pretty impressed how both teams have reacted with their top players not in the lineup.
Well, Brock Poe, welcome to the lineup, my friend. His first game of the season. He's got a pair of threes. Warsaw with its biggest lead, and Simfukwe in transition. Got tied up that time by Stover. Alternating possession goes to Warsaw.
Jump ball, possession arrow to Tigers.
But it is Poe who is helping the Tigers get rich out here with 3-pointers, as they have nailed 4 here in the first half. And he'll light it up again. 9 points for Brock Poe. And it's a 22-9 Warsaw lead.
He'd be a big hit down in New Orleans if they're making po' boys, but he's had himself a first half tonight.
Another substitution as Winchester takes the place of Bishop Walters.
5 turnovers here in the first half for Wawasee, just 1 for Warsaw.
So Brock Poe making his return to the lineup after missing the first 6 games. And boy, has he been a welcome sight for Warsaw. Meanwhile, at the other end, Jack Stover carrying the mail right now for Wawasee. He has 5. And The Tigers are doubling up the Warriors at 22-11.
Wawasee with 9 rebounds. 5 have been on the offensive end.
Ball movement key here. Poe again for 3. Light it up. He is in fuego.
Chuck, we heard the announcement before the game. There's no smoking allowed in the arena. And look at him. He's smoking.
6 3-pointers for the Tigers here in the first half. Grant Brooks tried to go backdoor. Welty had to throw it out of bounds off of Gould.
One of the things about having a 14-point lead in the first half is that you it's a little more comfortable to shoot that 3, and he's been, as you said, Chuck, on fire.
Timeout called by Wawasee. 4:29 to go before the intermission. Warsaw has opened up a 14-point lead in this Kosciuszko County rivalry on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the electrical workers of the local 153, making our communities brighter. They might have some work to do here in the Hardwood Teepee because Brock Poe is shooting the lights out here in the first half.
He certainly is, Chuck, and as a team, Warsaw now 6 out of 9 from three-point range, 66%. And for the ballgame, 9 out of 14, about 64%. So the three-point shot has been their good friend. And, of course, our scouting report has already been thrown into the dumpster because, you know, we said they can't shoot very well. And tonight, they're red hot.
Well, in fact, one of the keys to win for Wawasee was make Warsaw shoot from the outside. And Warsaw is saying thank you very much because here's our secret weapon.
Well, we'll see if they can continue that, but certainly a great lift out the bench for Brock Poe.
Poe was somebody who had varsity experience last year. Was banged up, couldn't play in the first 6 games, but he is back and making life miserable for Wawasee in this one. Jack Stover being hawked by Jackson Gould. Welty tries to go baseline, called for the charge. His second.
Again, a night when your roster's a little bit short. 2 fouls in the first half. Let's see if Welty stays in the ballgame.
Out of bounds, the Tigers.
Going to for now.
Big weekend for Warsaw. They have this game, and then they play in the Grace College Champions of Character Classic tomorrow in Winona Lake against Portage.
A lot of good talent going to be at Grace College tomorrow.
Jackson Gould with the 3. Gould now with 8. And we have not seen this kind of three-point shooting from Warsaw at any time this year except for the Huntington North game. In the first half of that game, they hit 7 threes and then got very, very chilly down the stretch. Steal by Beer, but he throws it right into the hands of Gould for 3. Not that time. Offensive rebound, Poe. Too close. Simfukwe couldn't get it. They volleyball along the baseline, and Simfukwe with another offensive rebound.
Nice offensive boards there for Warsaw.
And Gould again for 3 in the corner. Jackson Gould with 11. And the Warsaw three-point barrage is on.
6 out of 7 from three-point range here in the second quarter.
Welty found Beer down low and Adam Beer for 2.
Boy, did they need a bucket.
Well, the timeout called by Warsaw, but I don't think that's going to cool down Brock Poe. He has been amazing from beyond the arc tonight. And a lot of these pretty much from the same spot, what I like to call the topside triple.
Well, Chuck, one of the things that happens when you can't play because of an injury, you watch the game, you sit by the coaches, you learn a lot about what's going on, but you also value any time that you're going to have back on the floor. So he's out there and he's not saying, well, I'm going to play a lot of minutes. He says, I'm going to go out and help my ball club tonight.
Well, I want to go to Bo Hunt for a Bills Heating sideline report. And Bo, one of the observations I have from up here, as well as Warsaw is playing. Wawasee, what are you seeing from them in their COVID recovery? I think a couple of their players looked a little gassed right now.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest concerns coming in, how much energy that they don't have on their game legs, and, not having guys as well, that's going to put you down in a limited number of guys that can even get in there and play at the varsity level. So they definitely look like they're a little gassed out here, and credit to Warsaw's defense too, because Warsaw defense really gets after you as well.
Well, that was the idea that Matt Moore was trying to instill in his team at practice this week, and apparently the message was well received.
Graydon Brath is checked in, 6'11" senior.
Gould has it taken away by Welty, and Gould then hammers Welty at the other end for his second foul.
That's the third turnover of the ball game for Warsaw.
Let's get another look, courtesy of Aegis Dental Group.
8 turnovers for Wawasee.
Welty is a 78% free throw shooter going to the charity stripe. He had 7 points in the opener against Prairie Heights. Bob, you'd like this young man. He's a golfer.
Yeah, except he shoots left-handed. Got to use right-handed golf balls.
Sands checks back in for Jackson Gould. Gould goes to the bench with 11 points.
Another opportunity here for the left-hander.
And Welty drains the second. 31-14, Tigers on top with 2:16 to go before half, as you see on the Tipping Point basketball scoreboard.
Wawasee has attempted 8 free throws here in the first half, just 2 for Warsaw.
Without Poe or Gould on the floor, where do the points come from for the Tigers now? Bergen directs traffic. Rapp kicks it down low to Sands, and that's a great look. That's what you want your big man to do, is be able to pass like that.
Next time he gets the ball on the low post like that, all you got to do is ball fake like you got to pass, turn around and lay it in.
Meanwhile, at the other end, Welty's three is off the mark. Roberson controls the loose change. Three on the way by Carey, no good. Simfukwe a rebound. Boy, what a role reversal tonight. They come in. Warsaw's the team that can't shoot threes. Wawasee is the team that's the snipers. It's been quite the opposite here in the hardwood teepee.
Warsaw with 9 rebounds now, 10 for Wawasee. But again, a big difference in turnovers. 8 turnovers for Wawasee, 3 for Warsaw so far.
And Warsaw will take its time coming across the stripe. Oh, they tried to feed the big man Brath down low, but the pass was a little bit too low. Matt Moore says he's 6'11". You can lob it to him. He's even got Bishop Walters, who threw the pass, laughing down there on defense. This 1-3-1 zone by Warsaw has really bedeviled the Warriors tonight.
It's one of the things we saw at practice for both teams this week. Both teams working real hard on their defense.
Brooks found the open man down low, and Roberson with the payoff. Colin Roberson with a career-high 5.
Very effective when they get him the ball down low.
Walters on the outside. Let's see if the Tigers hold for the last shot. Simfukwe checking the clock right above us. You see it, right-hand corner of that scoreboard.
Well, see, got to be careful. They don't want to commit a foul here late. Nope.
Well, they have fouls to give, though. That's not the worst thing in the world there. But the problem is the guy that got it is Caton Welty, and I think that's his third.
That's what I've got him with 3 as well. Folks, TCU understands the importance of growing your future, whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business. TCU is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit TCUnet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they're an equal housing opportunity lender.
Sands caught the return pass, but he was still out of bounds. So Wawasee will have a chance here with 2.3 to go in the half. They throw it all the way down the court. Poe with the interception from three-quarter court. That's off the mark, comes all the way up here. That's about all that went wrong for Warsaw in the first half. Jackson Gould and Brock Poe were feeling it from three-point range. The Tigers lead it by 17 at the half. Stick around. TCU student athletes are next on 46.
And we welcome you back to the Hardwood Teepee here at Wawasee High School as we have a chance here at halftime to talk with our student athletes of the week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. And this is always the best part of the broadcast in a lot of ways because we get a chance to meet a couple of outstanding young people. And with us from Wawasee High School is Adam Beer, and with us from Warsaw High School is Jackson Dawson. And we're going to talk to Jackson first. Jackson, first of all, congratulations on being singled out for this award. You're getting it done in a couple of places, football field, basketball court, and in the classroom.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
You really have to be disciplined about that, don't you? I mean, you're in a weight room during the off season, you're working hard, but you have to have priorities for your academics.
Yeah, definitely. We're busy with football, weightlifting, basketball, weightlifting, practices all the time, but it's a balance. You got to balance school and athletics at the same time.
Well, you're in the top 10 of your class, which is really great, and you're talking about wanting to play at the next level, football or basketball. If somebody makes you an offer.
Yeah, whoever offers first, yeah, I definitely looked into that. I just want to play at the next level.
I don't blame you at all there, and we wish you all the best of luck. Talk about the people in your life that have been important to you to help you along the way.
Yeah, definitely coaches and family. They've helped me along, gave me lots of advice, and helped me along through the path of life, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're part of a great tradition at Warsaw High School. Yeah. We wish you all the best of luck this year, and certainly in the years ahead. You're just a junior, so you got time to fill out and figure out where you want to go.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Jackson wants to be a lawyer, by the way, so that's a good thing. And Adam Beer is with us, and Adam is an outstanding senior athlete at Wawasee High School. And Adam, I want to congratulate you too. Tremendous effort you're making.
Thank you.
And you're involved in 3 sports. You're involved in football, basketball, baseball.
Yeah.
How do you find time to manage all that and your academics?
I don't know.
There's a lot of times when somebody wants to go out for pizza or go out and have a good time, and you're saying, hey, I got a paper that's due.
Yeah, sometimes, late nights and stuff.
And you've got a pretty good idea what you'd like to study down the road and where you'd like to go.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Purdue for engineering.
What do you want to do with that kind of a degree?
I don't know yet. I'm not really sure what type of engineering I want to go for, but yeah.
Well, as fast as things change in the world, it might be something different in a couple of years, but wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank you.
You've also been involved in 4-H.
Yes, sir.
And you spent 10 years involved with that. Talk about what that meant to you to be, you got a chance to be successful at other things, including 4-H.
Yeah, I mean, it helps a lot to do a lot of stuff. And 4-H really teaches you perseverance and stuff like that, because late nights you got to go work with your animals and stuff like that.
What kind of animals did you show?
I just showed a pig and then a dairy calf my first year.
Okay, so we got to have more respect when we have bacon?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about people in your life that have mattered for you.
My family helped a lot, taking me to sports and stuff, and then coaches have helped me a lot.
Well, Adam, wish you the best of luck. Have a great run at Purdue, and look forward to hearing about your success down the road. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, Adam Beer from Wawasee High School and Jackson Dawson from Warsaw High School, our student athletes of the week, brought to you by TCU. TCU invites you to go online at tcunet.com, and you can find out how you can become a member today. We're back with some halftime stats and highlights in just a moment. You're watching the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week brought to you in part by Ancilla College. We believe in you. Certainly believe in the Warsaw Tigers after that first half. They lead Wawasee 33-16 here at the intermission. Chuck and Bob high above the fray. We're told all week long. Stat sheet shows it.
Yep.
Warsaw can't hit threes. Warsaw can't hit threes. You lied to us.
Well, they missed 5 of them. They're only 8 out of 13. 61% from three-point range in the first half, 16% for Wawasee. Now, Wawasee did win the rebounding effort in the first half, but because there weren't many offensive rebounds for Warsaw.
Plenty of highlights, though. Let's show you how it got to be this way here in the Hardwood TV. Game started off as we expected. Ethan Carey hitting the three for Wawasee, but then this turnover seemed to turn things around. Jackson Gould got the steal and the fast break layup, and then Warsaw started to find that range outside. First it was Gould who hit a three-pointer to take the lid off the basket, and then Warsaw developed a strategy. Get the ball to Brock Poe for three. I said, get the ball to Brock Poe for three. I said, get the ball to Brock Poe for three. He hit 4 of them in the first half, had 12 points. Gould wanted to get in on the fun. He had 11. Warsaw's up by 17 at the intermission. And the reason, well, you just saw it. They can hit it from outside the arc tonight.
And one of the things that Wawasee was doing was they were collapsing on the inside, trying to eliminate the inside play, and they were successful doing that, but leaving guys open on the perimeter. And look at that shooting percentage in the first half. Pretty impressive for the Warsaw Tigers. And again, that three-point percentage was terrific. And free throws, Wawasee got there 8 times. Warsaw only got there twice. And turnovers, not a huge factor. And the rebounding, again, favoring Wawasee.
Here's the thing. Warsaw's hitting 61% from three-point range. They're only shooting 50% from two-point range. Stop shooting two-pointers.
I'll tell you what, it's strange what the numbers do. But again, we're looking at different people working together in that lineup. And it's early in the season, even though we're in late December, because people have had so many games canceled.
Well, if you're thinking about making a phone call at Christmas time, why don't you dial up Buddy the Elf? What's your favorite color? 3316 Warsaw. I guarantee you Buddy's favorite color is an orange and black tonight. Our halftime report concludes. We're back with second half play-by-play after this on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by Wolverine Mutual Insurance. Protecting you and your family for generations. When the unexpected happens, we've got you covered. We've got you covered with the Bills Heating Sideline Report. Bo Hunt, your thoughts on this one through the first half? I'm sorry that we lied to you when we passed along that scouting report, my man.
Hey, you know, you can look at all the lines in the paper and all the numbers and everything, but you got to play the game, and that's what we always talk about. You never know what's going to happen when you come out here, especially when you're talking about high school kids. I think the best thing that could happen with Wawasee was actually they went in, they took a break, and they're switching ends, because I heard that this hoop down here has a little bit bigger rim, you know, so that's why Warsaw was actually making so many threes. But, you know, give credit to Warsaw. They just did a heck of a job shooting those threes. Brock Poe, what a great energy that he brought and enthusiasm that he brought into this team, not being able to play the first 6 games, had playing time last year. But Wawasee, they just need to make some adjustments. They need to cover the shooters, and they need to start hitting some shots, guys.
I think you're right, Bo. You know, I was just going to point out that 33 is not an exorbitant amount of points to give up in a half, but scoring 16 is where the problem is right now for Wawasee.
And Warsaw switches out of that 1-3-1 zone to a man-to-man to start the second half. Our third quarter brought to us by our friends at Wolverine Mutual Insurance. Grant Brooks, his jumper is short, and the rebound comes to Ben Bergen. Judas Mfukwe's been quiet tonight, and he has that ball taken away from him. And I think a foul might be on Jackson Dawson. If it is, it's his third.
Got to be careful. He's not going to let her tonight.
So Dawson has 3 for Warsaw. Caden Welty has 4 for Wawasee. Yeah, Welty is out there on the floor here as we start the third quarter. Mason Pacel is in the game now for Wawasee. He wears number 42. That's him with the ball. Down low they go to Stover. He couldn't finish. The rebound to Brooks. Open 3. Ethan Carey buries that one. He has 6 and a timeout called by Wawasee. We'll take it as well. We've only played 57 seconds in the third, but the Warriors have kept the lead to 14 here on 46. this edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned.
Partner, we didn't get a chance to be in the locker room at halftime, but obviously John Everingham has invited Mr. Brooks to join the dance. He didn't have a shot in the first half. He's had 2 already. We played less than a minute.
33-19, Warsaw on top as you take a look at Ethan Carey, who buried the 3 before the timeout. Wawasee will go man-to-man. Poe left it out in the corner for Bergen.
Wawasee switching in that man-to-man.
Dawson trying to post up, but instead it's Poe for 3. Why not? He's been uncanny out there tonight. His 5th three-pointer of the night, 15 points for Brock Poe.
He didn't shoot at all during halftime. Should have.
Brooks looking around, bangs inside, can't get that one to go, and it's collected by Jackson Dawson. And a timeout called by Matt Moore of Warsaw. We'll keep it here with 6:12 to go, third quarter.
Folks, you can receive a quality and affordable university education by enrolling in the Bethel University Extension site at Napanee Missionary Church. BU at NMC provides the opportunity for a Bethel education while engaging in weekly practicums specific to your area of interest. Multiple degrees are available, and because the program cost is $10,000 per year, you can graduate with little or no debt. To learn more about this program, go to nmc.church/Bethel.
The Crossroads Classic has 2 games tomorrow, and the only place you can hear them both is 103.1 FM. Will start at 11:30 tip-off with Butler in Indiana. That's followed at 2:30 by Mike Bray's Fighting Irish taking on Matt Painter in Purdue. The Crossroads Classic live from Indianapolis, Saturday on 103.1 FM.
A lot of things going on tomorrow. I heard there's a football game, too. I'm not sure about that.
Well, there's a few.
Yeah.
Down low, Warsaw able to go to Poe. He couldn't hit. Jackson Dawson fouled on the rebound. That will likely be the end of Caden Welty's night.
Good offensive rebound there by Warsaw.
So Welty collects his 5th foul with 6:02 to go in the third quarter. And John Everingham will have to go to his bench, and he's going to turn to Jay Finlinson, a sophomore who had a good night playing on the JV tonight. And Finlinson will check in.
And Jay, you wanted some varsity minutes? Here you go, buddy.
Had 11 points in the JV game tonight.
Good ball handler.
You take a look at Jackson Dawson at the line, nailing the first. Dawson, a 52% free throw shooter. Impressive young man there in those halftime interviews.
Sure was. Too bad he got into foul trouble in the first half. That's the first point of the night for Dawson.
Misses the second, battle for the rebound, and Purcell comes out of there with it. Here comes Ethan Carey. Purcell and Carey on the outside. Brooks trying to get post position on Dawson.
Boy, a lot of pushing and shoving in turn 3 down there.
Here's Finlinson, the sophomore. There's Brooks. Found the open man. Carey for 3. Ring it up. That's the way the offense is supposed to work for the Warriors. But they still find themselves down 37-22.
Carey 3 out of 4 from three-point range tonight.
Leads the way for the Warriors with 9 points this evening. Dawson trying to square up on Brooks. Took him right to the hole, missed the baby hook. And a nice rebound by Jack Stover. Wawasee trying to find a hot hand and get back into this one. Stover harassed by Gould. Brooks with that left-hand dribble. And the southpaw misses. Rebound Purcell, he can't hit. Battle for the loose ball. Purcell again, and this time he's hacked in the act.
Good rebounding there in the offensive end for Wawasee.
Rebounding is about desire, and Mason Postle showed a lot of it here.
Get a chance to go to the free throw line where Wawasee has been 8 times already. This is number 9, and it's good.
Postle with his first point of the season. And Warsaw will make wholesale substitutions here.
Folks at St. Andrews Products, your expectations become our standards. We have the finest promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and apparel. Our team handles all embroidery and screen printing in-house to guarantee the quality you want and the timely turnaround that you need. At St. Andrews Products, our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
Postle drains them both. But Wawasee still trailing by 13, and Warsaw will show some patience here. They get Poe loose. Look out. And a 3-second violation called on Warsaw. I'm sorry, did I time travel to 1970?
Well, I tell you what, that's just the 6th turnover for Warsaw in the ball game. Been pretty careful about being patient and getting the ball to an open man for a good shot.
I can't remember the last time I saw a 3-second violation called. But good, because it's a rule in there. Here's Brooks, and he's fouled on the way up. And the advantage here for Wawasee with these Warsaw fouls starting to mount, they can score with the clock stopped and chisel their way back in this, as you'll get another look here from Aegis Dental Group.
Well, you're down by as many as they were. You got to do some goal setting along the way. Can you get it down to single figures, or can you get it down to 10? They're working their way back there.
Brooks is only a 44% foul shooter as you look at Matt Moore on the Warsaw bench. Brooks beat Warsaw in 2019 in baseball with a walk-off single. Missed the free throw there, and then a rebounding foul called against the Warriors.
Pascal with the foul, out of bounds to the Tigers.
So Pascal with the foul.
It's his first. He's getting into all the stat columns now.
Poe, head and shoulder fake. Nice release, but he couldn't get it to go. And here comes Stover and the Warriors the other way, trailing by a dozen. Walters all over the sophomore Finlandson. Warsaw has done a really good job for most of the night covering the three-point shooters of Wawasee. But Carey gets loose here. The shot might have been deflected, and Finlandson loses it out of bounds to Warsaw.
Yeah, it looked like it had something, took some of the steam off of it, came up well short of the basket. Folks, the Lather and Fade Shop has locations in South Bend, Granger, and Elkhart. Lather and Fade offers a world-class barber experience whether you want a vintage, classic, or modern look. Lather and Fade gift cards are great ideas for Christmas. Check out latherandfadeshop.com.
Final score from the NIC tonight. St. Joe has beaten Riley 81-73. That's the first loss of the year for the Riley Wildcats. Also tonight, New Prairie beat Jimtown 70-45. And Bishop Walters launches a three. You had a couple of those last year against Wawasee, Bob.
Well, we've got a new country heard from. Walters had not scored in the ball game.
That helps stem the tide for the Tigers. Brooks tries to go one-on-one. Here's Finlandson, short on that shot, but Pascal, another offensive rebound, and another foul called against Winchester. Second on Big Russ.
Finlandson had a pretty good look there.
Actually, that's the third on Winchester, and here comes some Fuquay back into the game to take the place of Brock Poe. Matt Moore making liberal use of the depth that he has on that bench. Pascal finds himself open in the lane, says why not? The junior with 4.
Brooks and Pascal didn't have any shots in the first half. They've taken 7 here in the third quarter.
Walters snaps in another 3. My goodness. I believe that's now 11 three-pointers in the game for the Warsaw Tigers. Carey drives the lane and draws the foul. Tom Hines blows the whistle, and let's see who it's on. As you get another look at Bishop Walters on the 3, he was also guilty of the foul at the other end, but what a pretty release on that three-pointer by Walters.
3 out of 4 from three-point range in the second half for Warsaw as they continue that hot shooting.
Ethan Carey, a 63% free throw shooter, now in double figures with 10 points. He's been an all-NLC soccer player for the last 3 years.
11 out of 15 from three-point range for Warsaw tonight.
You see Brooks check out as Roberson checks back in. Very young lineup on the floor right now for the Wawasee Warriors. Carey, the senior leader right now of this team, and the leader on the scoreboard with 11. Still Warsaw by 14. Wawasee just hadn't been able to get that surge here in the third quarter. And Caleb Sands throws it away.
Well, you needed a couple of stops, and Warsaw helping them out right there. That's got to have Matt Moore a little bit more than upset.
Jackson Gould takes the place of Caleb Sands, getting a little coaching down by Matt Moore at the other end of the Warsaw bench. Roberson with the left hand. Saw the double team, found Carey for 3. No good. Great rebound by Finlayson. Layup is good. His first varsity points of the year.
Working hard on the boards right there. Nice job.
Some young men not used to getting minutes for Wawasee, starting to make a difference for the Warriors here in the third. They trailed by 17 at the third quarter, or at the halftime break. You got to think if John Everingham, as you mentioned, could get it to 10, boy, they'd feel real good about themselves going to the fourth, but Simfukwe will miss that shot.
Oh, wow.
That had more iron than your morning vitamin, but it wouldn't go.
That was halfway down. Now you hit a 3 and you're cutting it to 9.
Here's Carey on the drive. Oh, he tried to make the pretty feed, and instead Walters makes the steal, and the Tigers will hold for the last shot.
Well, still got time for a stop here, perhaps, with less than 30 seconds to go. Wawasee packing it in there pretty good in the lane.
There's Walters on the outside. Clock now at 5. Simfukwe. I don't think they have enough clock awareness. Here's Gould for 3. He got it. Well, take that, Mr. Freebie, for your clock awareness comment. Jackson Gould lights it up from three-point range. And speaking of lighting it up, how about the sweaters on our 46 camera crew tonight? I don't blame them for wearing masks if they're wearing stuff like this. I'd go into witness protection too. Big Jed Duvik up there. They all wish they had a tie like the sports director, don't they?
Exactly.
It's 46-31 Warsaw at the end of 3 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. And a way of life tonight for Warsaw has been hitting three-point shots. Jackson Gould making it rain. Bo Hunt, why do you think Warsaw has finally found the range from 3 tonight?
Well, as we talked earlier, they had this earlier on in the year, and they just kind of lost it a little bit. So it was always been there. But I think the spark that Brock Poe brought off the bench, first time that he's got into the game, you know, being injured and stuff, that spark that he brought in, I think really gave the confidence for the rest of the kids and the rest of the players out there to really feel that shot.
It has been impressive. A 15-point Tiger lead as we go to the fourth. Granted, Wawasee playing without a couple of its key players tonight. Keaton Dukes and Cameron Salazar out because of COVID. And there's another 3 from the Warsaw Tigers. Ben Bergen hitting that one. That's just his second three-pointer of the season. That three-point shooting is contagious for the Tigers tonight. Going all the way down, Stover missed the layup. Purcell, the rebound is good. Mason Purcell with 6.
Chuck, I'm looking at these numbers. 13 out of 19 from three-point range. Close to 70% from three-point range tonight for Warsaw.
It's rather unbelievable. Here's Gould on the outside.
Had a look, but you got a nice lead. You don't have to shoot.
The thing is, they've been taking threes within the rhythm of the offense, and there's a good working of the ball to Judas Mfukwe, his first basket of the night. And a time called because they need a young man to tie his shoe.
Folks, we want to thank TCU. Again, they sponsor our Student Athletes of the Week, and we had a couple of outstanding members from Wawasee. We had a wonderful representation from Adam Beer, and also for the Warsaw Tigers, we enjoyed visiting with Jackson Dawson. And those two young men, bright futures, and I'll tell you what, when you get a chance to meet these young people who are doing so well in the classroom and on the hardwood, it's a treat.
I know that's one of your favorite parts of this broadcast is doing those interviews each week, and I don't blame you. They're fine young people to talk to. Here's a pass ahead to Mfukwe. He'll lay it up and in. He has 4 tonight.
3 out of 3 in the fourth quarter for Warsaw so far.
Here's a foul by Bishop Walters.
That's the biggest lead of the night.
20-point margin for the Tigers, who have been aided and abetted by the bench. 37 points off the bench tonight for Warsaw of their 53.
Not too bad. Folks, our broadcast brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technology, saluting the players, coaches, and all the team members who work so hard to be successful. At IFT, we put our team to work for you, setting the standard for metal finishing solutions. Reach us at iftworldwide.com. Like the teams in this game are working toward a great finish.
The bucket and the bump for Adam Beer. He'll get another look from Aegis Dental Group. As Beer was able to absorb the contact from Jackson Gould, who picks up his 3rd foul. And Beer, 0 for 2 at the line this season, goes to the line. Honored by Kosciuszko County for his ability in soil judging. Beer puts that one in. 5 points for the 3-sport athlete.
And you heard the crowd really cheer when he got the three-point opportunity. Very popular young man. Terrific, terrific personality.
10-year member of 4-H here in Kosciuszko County. That's tremendous. Here's Dawson, a little baseline jumper that finds a home. Jackson Dawson now with 3. Near steal by Gould, and it goes out of bounds off Wawasee. Warsaw gets it back on the turnover.
Jack, if I told you before the ball game that Warsaw would have 3 points in the fourth quarter from Jackson Dawson and they'd be up by 20, you'd said, nah, I don't think so. A lot of numbers have been strange tonight.
Yeah, complete reversal on our key players tonight. We had Mfukwe and Dawson. They've combined for just 7 points. Meanwhile, Poe and Gould have come off the bench, and they've combined for 29. A reminder, next Friday night, more high school basketball as we go over, well, I say next Friday night. This is in 3 weeks. We'll be at Algie Oldham Gym in South Bend for Elkhart and South Bend Riley. Chance to see the Notre Dame recruit Blake Wesley take on Kyle Sears and the Lions. It's our first game back of 2021, January 8th, here on 46. Mfukwe, a little floater in the lane. That goes off the mark. And Brooks with the rebound.
Well, Wawasee had it down to 12 points, but it's gone back to the Warsaw way.
Here's Beer looking for a cutter, and foul is called against Warsaw. That'll send Wawasee to the line for one in the bonus.
Folks, you can receive a quality and affordable university education by enrolling in the Bethel University Extension site at Napanee Missionary Church. BU at NMC provides the opportunity for a Bethel education while engaging in weekly practicum specific to your area of interest. Multiple degrees are available, and because the program costs just $10,000 per year, you can graduate with little or no debt. To learn more about this wonderful program, go to nmc.church/Bethel.
Matt Moore, father of 5 over there on the Warsaw sideline. That's what we call a good start in the Freebie house. Ethan Carey, new season high with 13 points as he hits the free throws. And a timeout called by Wawasee with 4:52 to go. And Warsaw up by 17 on the 46th game of the week. This edition of the 46th game of the week being brought to you in part by St. Andrew's Products. Promotional products, branded apparel. And we are so proud to wear our 46 apparel from St. Andrew's Products each and every week, and we thank them for that, and certainly thank you and the rest of the crew. Man, 2020 has been a struggle for everybody, and especially the last 4 months. We wait on bated breath every week to see if we're actually going to get to do a game, and most weeks we've been able to do it.
And, you know, a lot of folks should know that we had plans for backups in case this game got canceled, and the 2 backup plans that we had both got canceled, so we're really blessed to be here, and just can't say enough about what the administrators, the principals, the athletic directors, head coaches, everybody's doing so much more than they've ever done before just to give the young people an opportunity to go ahead and play.
And we are happy to be at the Hardwood Teepee tonight. We also want to give some shout-outs to some of our friends in the officiating community. I know Greg Humiston, who was officiating the Penn Marion girls game that we did last week. He has COVID now. Jimmy Arnett's wife, Merle, suffering from COVID. So first of all, if you're the praying type, send some up for those fellas and for everybody who's suffering here during the pandemic. But with an official shortage that we have already, really need more young people to step up and find their way into the officiating community, because let's face it, we need some bodies out here.
The only thing that kept me away from officiating was I don't look good in stripes.
Now they're slimming. 55-38, Warsaw with the lead. Simfukwe on the outside with the basketball for this Tiger team, looking to go 4-3, and they would probably be favored against Portage tomorrow over at Grace College. I'm sure Matt Moore would love to be able to go into the Christmas break above 500.
And their numbers are down a little bit, but boy, the way these guys have played tonight, been outstanding.
Gould with a nice baseline drive, and Jackson Gould now the leading scorer on this Warsaw team with 16 tonight.
Pretty good balance for the Tigers as well.
Gould with 16, Poe with 15. Backdoor cut, Purcell lays it up and in. He has been impressive in his second half.
Coach, give me more minutes. Are you giving some shout outs there, partner? I want to give a shout out to a wonderful lady who watches our games, especially when Warsaw's playing, and that is Avis Gunter. Sound familiar? Hal Gunter is her son. And Mrs. Gunter, I want to tell you what Hal's been doing for the last 40 years, coaching Warsaw basketball.
Head and shoulder fake by Dawson got Colin Roberson up in the air, and he'll draw his first foul. Okay, as long as we're tossing out the birthday shout-outs.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than cards for me. So happy birthday to my sons Christopher, who celebrated on Monday, and Peter, who celebrates Saturday. Christopher now 27, Peter 28. Yes, I know that wasn't even 365 days apart.
It can happen.
And it did.
And it did.
Dawson with the free throw. He now has 4. Jackson Dawson not only with a 37-inch vertical leap, he'll squat 300 pounds on that 6'6" body. This is the free throw there.
Wants to play football or basketball at the next level, and if he wants to play football, he needs to come to my eating camp.
He might be the quarterback for Bart Curtis next year. He was in competition with that job for Aaron Green this year.
Right. He might want to get some of Mrs. Nagel's Buckeyes, which I'm told other people want as well.
Well, that's for sure. Ethan Carey with a big 3. And a timeout called by Wawasee. We'll keep it right here. Carey now with 16 tonight, and he's been pretty sharp beyond the arc tonight with 4 3-pointers.
We got a message from one of our buddies, Mike Lightfoot, former Bethel head basketball coach, looking for Buckeyes. That doesn't mean he's rooting for the Buckeyes tomorrow. They have a pretty good game coming up against Northwestern, but
meanwhile, I've got some info you should know from our
Yes.
friends at Ancilla College. You know, winning is not unusual at Warsaw. They have a quarter century of excellence going on. In the last 25 years, Bob, they have the best winning percentage of any of the basketball teams in our area. And when you take a look at that quartet on the screen right there, that's a lot of wins.
that's a lot of wins and a lot of great coaching as well. You think about Jim Miller and Al Rhodes and certainly Doug Ogle. What a great gift those men have been to the Warsaw community. I'm sure Matt Miller is going to work just as hard to have his spot in the limelight.
Well, I think the idea that Matt Moore has is he's been around. He coached for 5 years at Mount Vernon Nazarene in the Crossroads League, 3 years at Kokomo, 3 years at Fishers. But he grew up just 21 miles from Warsaw over in Columbia City, and I think he'd like to stick around for a long time. Here's a bucket and a bump by Simfukwe, and Judah will go to the stripe for the first time tonight, 67% free throw shooter.
Simfukwe to the line for one.
And while he does that, we'll tell you we want to thank St. Andrews Products for helping our crew look good tonight. They are ready to do the same for your team. Reach them at sales@standrewsproducts.com with all the top lines in apparel, business gifts, and advertising specialties. They're ready to help your school or company. At St. Andrews Products, the answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
7 points now for Judah Simfukwe, and a timeout will be called. Looks like it'll be called by Warsaw with 2:02 to go in this one. Warsaw up 61-43. Obviously, they get off to a good start here in the Northern Lakes Conference, but Bo Hunt, I have to think when we look at the Northern Lakes Conference with your Bills Heating sideline report, the favorite, even though they're sidelined by COVID right now, has to be Northridge. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. That, you know, until we come here tonight and we, you know, see Brock Pope finally back in some action and see what Warsaw can do when they're actually in the flow and actually in the feeling of things. And, you know, their record doesn't speak necessarily how good they are either. I mean, they played some tough competition as well. So Northridge, Warsaw, just kind of the usual suspects for the NLC.
Well, that game will be played on January 8th, so that'll be an interesting one. Then we'll see Northridge. If plans hold, we'll see Northridge the following week against Northwood on TV 46. Northwood, maybe the sleeper in the group. They're a young team, but I know Aaron Wolf has been high on this group as they've been coming through middle school.
Well, and that's what the coaches do, especially in a city like Napanee. And, of course, all the kids in the area, the coaches keep an eye on them. The guys on the way up, and you see that in Warsaw. You see that here in Syracuse. And, again, we talked about how good Wawasee is going to be in the future because of a couple of young men that'll be in the high school next year. What's the name? Everingham?
Yes, he's got a pair of twins in the 8th grade they have high hopes for. So also tonight on the hardwood, Marion has defeated Elkhart 53-50 at Northside Gym. The Lions take on Valparaiso tomorrow night at the Big Barn on Bristol Street. There's a three-pointer for Wawasee. And that's Roberson hitting the three-pointer. He now has 8 in this one. Had not scored all season on the varsity level coming into this, so both he and Purcell with 8 points tonight. Those are some bright spots for John Everingham and what'll be their first loss of the season.
Wawasee has scored 30 points here in the second half. They only had 16 in the first half, so they've picked it up tremendously.
Simfukwe on the backdoor cut, and that was a beauty. He has 9.
There had to be a little bit of emphasis by Wawasee defensively on Simfukwe, and also they tried to put the kibosh on Dawson, but they've opened it up here a little bit in the fourth quarter.
And a 5-second count. Ben Bergen draws that, and that delights the Warsaw bench. They love to see defensive plays. I think there might have been a little deal made between Matt Moore and his team if they could get a 5-second count, the way the reaction was over there on the bench. We might find that one out from Brock Poe after the game.
I know working with Muffet McGraw for a lot of years, nothing she loved better than a 5-second call or a 3-second violation on the opponent in the lane.
Roberson fouls Sinfukwe from behind. Warsaw not quite in the bonus yet.
Foul Roberson, his third.
So Warsaw will move to 4-3. As we mentioned, they face Portage Saturday night at the Grace College Champions of Character Classic. By the way, Matt Moore will probably be chatting with the coach over at Grace College since it's his brother Scott.
Yeah.
Here at the other end, Brooks with the layup for Wawasee. Grant with his first basket of the night.
Brooks for 2.
And Warsaw's going to walk out of the hardwood teepee 4-3 on the season as they win this 75th renewal of this Kosciuszko County rivalry by a final score of 63-48. Don't go anywhere. We'll feature our player of the game and have our electrical workers electrifying play of the game next on the 46th Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Brought to you by
At the hardwood teepee, the fans still lingering, but the Warsaw Tiger faithful are celebrating another win over Wawasee, 63-48. Tigers move to 4-3 on the year on an incredible shooting night for Warsaw. We just got the final numbers handed to us. 13 of 18 on the night for Warsaw. That's 72%. And they had assists on 18 of their 23 baskets.
And you're not seeing that kind of shooting percentage from the three-point arc anywhere, including the Golden State Warriors. But, Chuck, I think you pointed out a very good that assist to basket ratio. You always want it to be about 50%. Way over that as well, and that speaks to good ball movement and unselfish play.
It helped to have a senior back in the lineup tonight, and he became our player of the game, coming off the bench with 15 points. Here's Brock Poe with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Brock Poe. Brock, what a great performance tonight. You finally got back in the lineup after being injured. Just thoughts on the victory tonight and your performance out there.
It was a great win. You know, I was hitting it from deep. I don't think I've ever shot that well, honestly, last year. I didn't shoot at all, so it felt good to come out and do it. My teammates were finding me. They were hitting shots too. Jackson Gould was hot early, so that helped kind of kickstart it, and we kept it going.
Yeah, we talked about that during the game. 23% in the field goal or the three-point range, but yet tonight you guys were just lights out.
Yeah, it definitely helped. Against Huntington North, we shot good early, and then went late. What were we, 1 for 19? Shot it really bad, so that didn't help percentages. So tonight, hopefully, we put it up.
I know with all the struggles going out there with COVID and injuries and different things like that, it seems like you guys early on now are really starting to come together a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This team, I mean, we've been together forever. All these guys are super tight, super close. I mean, we hang out together outside of basketball, so it helps when it gets on the court.
And it's got to be tough, first-year head coach standing right next to you. You know, coming in, a new system, new things like that. It's something it's a learning process, right?
Yeah, it is. And it takes time. I mean, it showed the couple first games we were slow, pretty sloppy, but now in practice we're kind of hammering it. We're going back to the basics.
Hey, congratulations on being a player of the
Thank you.
game. Best luck to you.
Thank you.
And in honor of Brock Poe, normally we have an electrifying play of the game by the electrical workers of Local 153. Tonight it's more like a bombing raid.
It's unbelievable, and it was just so against the game plan that we saw coming in, and unselfish play, good ball movement, and they really capitalized on what Wawasee was trying to do defensively. And you know, if that's what's open, you take that shot, and when you make them, oh my!
And they made 13 of them tonight. Poe had 5 3-pointers. Jackson Gould had 4. Bishop Walters a couple. There were all kinds of threes dropping for the Warsaw Tigers, and they're able to drop the Wawasee Warriors. Although I thought we saw some flickers and some signs of positivity from this Wawasee team tonight, especially in the second half with the young guys.
Yeah, there's some guys that got into the game late, and our buddy Bo Hunt came back to help us sing.
If you're going to be here, grab a headset, okay?
But you make a good point, partner. There are a lot of guys that we talked about before the game are going to say, hey, Coach, I should be playing more. I should get in the game. And guess what? They got in tonight. And a lot of them answered. I mean, we saw some good things from some of the guys who played JV, got in the varsity game tonight and played well.
But as you mentioned towards the end of the game, this is a Warsaw team that can make a difference in the NLC.
I really believe. I mean, they got everything. That they got the size, they got the length, they got the shooters, they move the ball, they got the coaching. They're going to work hard, that's for sure, and the coaching is going to make sure of that. But they got some talent there.
Well, it's good to have the gang back together for this last one before Christmas. It's great to be with our 46 sports crew every week that we are. But all these people deserve a break, and so we're going to get one here for about 3 weeks. So
hey, you ready? You ready, partner?
I think
it's
so.
beginning to look a lot
Okay,
like
we're trying
Christmas.
to get ratings.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's going to wrap it up from the Hardwood Teepee. Our thanks to our production crew led by the Crazy One and our production manager, Dean Korsmo, and the usual cast of characters, not including Buddy the Elf. A reminder, we've got the Crossroads Classic for you on the radio tomorrow. Indiana and Butler at 11:30. Followed by Purdue and Notre Dame at 2:30. And then we rejoin you on January the 8th of 2021 from Algae Oldham Gym when Blake Wesley and the Riley Wildcats take on Kyle Sears' Elkhart Lions. We'll have it for you in the usual time slots. And keep following us on Twitter and Facebook throughout the holiday break for all the high school updates. For the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, Chuck Freeby saying, thanks for watching. Merry Christmas. Warsaw beats Wawasee 63-48. So long from Syracuse.